Kraft presents The Great Gildersleeve. Kraft Cheese Company, who also brings you Bing Crosby every Thursday night, presents each week at this time Harold Perry as The Great Gildersleeve, written by John Gleason. We'll hear from The Great Gildersleeve in just a moment. You know, these days it's pretty difficult to get the variety of foods you used to get. That's why you should make the plentiful foods you can get as appetizing as possible. Now, one easy, economical way to make foods taste better is to use parquet margarine at the table and for cooking too. First of all, of course, parquet margarine is perfectly delicious, spread on bread or toast or rolls. And next, parquet margarine is a tasty seasoning for potatoes and all hot vegetables. Parquet margarine makes cookies and pastries taste better too, because it's a real flavor of shortening, not bland and tasteless as some shortenings are. And lastly, you'll find parquet adds tempting extra flavor to pan-fried foods. Yes, you can make everyday foods taste better when you use parquet. Remember, too, it's a nourishing energy food that contains vitamin A. So ask your dealer tomorrow for a wholesome, economical parquet. P-A-R-K-A-Y. Parquet margarine made by Kraft. Well, let's get on with the Great Gildersleeve, who's been putting in a busy Saturday morning down at the water department, trying to clear his desk of all the odds and ends that have piled up there. As we join him now, we find him almost down to the blotter and feeling pretty good about it.
Action! Yes, action! That's the keynote today, Miss Fitch.
And you have accomplished a great deal this morning, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yes, sir. Never put off till tomorrow what you can do today.
I try not
Procrastination is the thief of time.
There's a letter here.
Time and tide wait for no man.
This woman wrote in 2 weeks ago.
For our want of a nail, the shoe was lost. Miss Fitch, action! That's the thing, action.
Mr. Gildersleeve, are you going to answer this woman's letter?
What does she want?
Action.
Ew. Well, let's see the letter.
She says she wrote in 2 weeks ago and never got an answer.
Oh, yes, I remember this. Take an answer. Dear Madam, in reply to your recent letter regarding an eel in your bathtub, we wish to thank you for calling this to our attention. After a thorough investigation of the matter, we wish to report that it would have been impossible for the said eel to have gained access to your tub through the faucet. As all our water is carefully filtered and furthermore, standard plumbing fixtures are too small to accommodate an eel of the dimensions you describe. We can only suggest that the creature either crawled up the drain, in which event your attorney should get in touch with the Department of Public Works, not us. Or, possibly, it was placed in your tub by an enemy. While it's out of our department, we suggest that a stopper be kept in the tub at all times to provide an effective precaution against eels in the future. Failing which, we'd advise a closer check on your friends. Very truly yours, Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve, Water Commissioner. You got that?
Yes, Mr. Gildersleeve.
That ought to hold her. What's next?
Well, I don't know whether you want to do anything about this.
Let's have it. Action, Miss Fitch. Let's clear the decks here.
Oh, very well.
This is no time for bottlenecks.
No, well, this
You'll
is
notice that on every photograph of Donald Nelson, there's not a single paper on Donald Nelson's desk. That's the only way to be an executive. Do it now. Strike while the iron is hot. Come, come, come. What have you got there?
a 6-month reminder from your dentist.
Ew. Well, suppose you put that in the deferred file.
That's where it came from.
You're a hard woman, Miss Fitch. All right, call up the dentist and make an appointment for Monday
Good.
for my son, Leroy. Come on, let's get out of here. Time's a-wasting. Hey, have you got the application for my gas ration?
Yes, it's right here.
Oh, I must remember to get that in this afternoon.
Well, it's all filled out. All you have to do is sign it.
I better check it over. Let's see here. It says occupational use of the vehicle. If vehicle is used for driving between home and fixed place of work in the principal occupation as stated in items 4 and 6 above, answer all the questions in Part A below. If vehicle is used in the performance of the principal occupation stated in items 4 and 6 above, oh, brother, I'll take your word for it, Miss Fitch.
Well, you'll have to get the signature of any person sharing the ride with you.
Well, Judge Hooker is my shared rider, but he isn't speaking to me. But he darn well can sign, though.
Well, I understand very few people are going to get the B ration.
Oh, I'll get one all right. After all, I'm a city official. I have to do a lot of official driving. I'm entitled to one if anybody is.
Yes, but have you heard who's head of the ration board now?
Well, it doesn't make any difference. Who?
Judge Hooker.
Ooh, oh my goodness. Hooker will find some technicality. He'll block it if he has to stage a filibuster. Maybe I better invite the old goat to Thanksgiving dinner after all.
That might soften him up a little.
Why, certainly. He couldn't accept a man's hospitality and then trick him out of his B card, could he?
I don't recall that the application form published that.
Nah, I don't think so. But quiet. Here comes the old sour ball now. Well, hello there, Judge.
When does the bus leave, Gildersleeve?
The bus leaves whenever you're ready, Judgy.
I'm ready now.
Be right with you. Can't keep a customer waiting, can we, Miss Fitch? I'll get my hat and coat.
Mr. Gildersleeve, you're not forgetting the,
Oh, yes, thank you. While you're waiting, Judge Fitch, Miss Fitch has an application blank that requires your signature. A mere formality, you know.
What's this?
Just to show that I'm sharing my car with you.
Oh, so you're applying for a B ration card, huh?
Aren't we all? Give the judge a pen, Miss Fitch. Oh, use mine. It's a self-filler. I think you'll like it. Yeah, that's it.
There you are.
Thank you, Judge. Well, see you Monday, Miss Fitch.
Uh-huh.
By the way, Horace, I meant to ask you before. I hope you'll give us the pleasure of dining with us as usual on Thursday.
I thought you'd forgotten all about Thanksgiving.
Not at all. Thanksgiving wouldn't be Thanksgiving without you, Horace. You know that.
Stand still, Leroy. I want to fix this.
I feel like such a sissy in this fool outfit.
This is the kind of clothes the Pilgrims wore. They were no sissies.
Yeah, but they didn't have to wear them in front of a whole auditorium full of people.
Stand still, will you? Please, before I jab you with this pen.
The courtship of Miles Standish. Why don't you speak for yourself, John? Yeah. Ouch!
I told you you'd get stuck. I think you're gonna look real cute when I get this done.
That's what I'm afraid of. That's what the whole school is gonna think.
Leroy, will you stand still?
It wouldn't have been so bad if I was Miles Standish. I'd get to wear a helmet. But John Alden, that panty waist, I'm lucky that teacher didn't make me play Priscilla.
I don't see why you feel that way. John Alden is a hero. Remember, it's John Alden who gets the girl.
Yeah, Ethel Hammerschlager. He can have her.
Hello, Uncle Mort.
Well, hello, Marjorie. And Leroy.
Hello.
Well, look at our little pilgrim.
Hey, Marge, can I take this off now?
No, wait till I get it pinned.
Do you know your lines, young man?
Some of them.
Well, it's about time. You've been rehearsing that part for a month.
I've been trying to get out of it for a month.
That's no attitude to take. The Courtship of Miles Standish is great literature. I studied it in school myself. I remember it to this very day. This is the forest primeval, the murmuring pines and hemlocks.
That's Evangeline, Uncle Mort.
Well, that's good too. Let's hear that speech you were having trouble with last night, Leroy.
No, I don't wanna.
Come on now. I want to see if you've learned it.
No, some other time, Unc.
No, right now. I like to hear it. We both would, wouldn't we, Marjorie?
We'd love to.
No, I won't do it.
Young man.
Not if she's gonna listen.
You'll recite that speech or you'll go right upstairs to your room.
Okay.
We're waiting.
Well, let's see. Prithee, Mistress Priscilla, turn not a deaf ear to the one who loves you yet, loves you yet, loves you yet.
Yet loves thee with a noble and undying passion. Get back and try it again.
Do I have to?
Yes. If you don't keep at it, you'll never learn the part.
If I don't learn the part, maybe I won't have to do it.
You'll do it, or I'll know the reason why. Come on now, once more.
Prithee, Miss Priscilla, Prissy, Miss Priscilla, I can't say it.
You're not trying. Prithee, Miss Priscilla. Now you got me doing it.
Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh, Bertie, I want to talk to you. Leroy, go up to your room and practice.
Go on, old Miles Standish anyway.
Quiet, you. Bertie, I've invited Judge Hooker to Thanksgiving dinner. That'll mean one more.
That'll mean 5 more.
What?
Yes, I hope you don't mind, Uncle Mort. I've invited 4 of the boys from Camp Folly.
Oh, fine. The more the merrier. Thanksgiving isn't Thanksgiving unless there are plenty around to enjoy the turkey.
Speaking of turkey, Mr. Gildersleeve,
Yes, Bertie?
you wouldn't want to buy a chance on one, would you? I don't suppose.
What do you mean, Bertie?
Well, the ladies at my church is holding a turkey raffle.
Again? All right, I'll buy a chance. How much are they?
25 cents? That's for one.
One chance? There you are. There's a quarter.
Oh, thank you. Most everybody around here's bought one for me. All the neighbors.
Well, you're doing
Of
fine.
course, if you bought 2 chances, it stands to reason you'd have twice as good a chance as they had.
Yeah, no getting around that. All right, Bertie, I'll take 2.
Mr. Gildersleeve, you're making no mistake. Turkey's awfully expensive this year, you know.
Yes, I know, Bertie.
48 cents a pound at the A1 grocery.
Ooh, brother.
Yeah. So if you was to buy 3 chances, you'd still be ahead.
Sold, Bertie. Make it 3.
Yes, sir. Let's see now. How many is there going to be for dinner?
Well, there's Marjorie and Leroy and Judge Hooker and Miss Ransom and the 4 soldiers and you, Bertie. That makes 9.
And you. That makes 12.
Jeez. Oh, yes, me.
That's going to take a big turkey.
Maybe we should get another one right away and ask them to hold it for us.
Well, let's wait and see how this raffle comes out first, Marjorie. We don't want to be stuck with 2 turkeys, you know.
'Cause they've sold quite a lot of chances on it. You only got 3.
Bertie, if you can guarantee I'll get the turkey, I'll take 5 chances.
Well, I can't promise nothing, but my cousin's doing the drawing.
Yeesh. I'll take 5.
That'll be $1.25.
That's right. Now here's another $1.
Quite a lot of money.
Yes, it is.
$1.25 will buy a lot of things.
Don't I know it?
And you wouldn't like to take a couple more chances just to protect your investment?
You get out of here, Bertie, before you ruin me. I gotta get down to the ration board. Oh, brother, look at this crowd. Pardon me. Could somebody tell me whether this is where you get your B ration books?
No, this is where you don't get them.
Wise guy. Madam, would you mind?
You can't shove in here.
I'm not trying to shove in.
Go to the end of the line.
Into the line.
I've been waiting here since 2 o'clock, and you come trying to shove in.
Yeah.
Madam, I was merely trying to ask a civil question.
Well, go to the end of the line, bud.
Just a minute. Who do you think you're pushing?
Well, who do you think you're pushing?
Well, who do you think you're pushing? By George, if you weren't wearing glasses.
Well, I'll take them off.
You look worse. Put them back on.
Well, what's the fuss here? What's the fuss?
He tried to shove in ahead of me.
I did not.
He did too, and he squeezed my hand.
Oh. Now look here, my good woman.
Look, we'll have to ask you for order here, my friend. Why don't you just take your place in line?
I'm trying to find out whether this is the right line. I've come for my B ration book.
Oh, you've come for it, eh?
Yes, I have my application right here.
Yeah, you and 100 million others.
Young man, evidently you don't know who I am. I happen to be Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve. I have to do a lot of driving.
Where to?
Oh, well, out to the reservoir
The reservoir? What for?
to see if there's anything in it.
Yeah. Listen, brother, if we gave a ration book to everybody who wanted to drive out to the reservoir for a little necking in the moonlight.
I don't do any necking in the moonlight.
Oh, so you like it in the dark?
Yeah, no. And I didn't come here to be insulted by underlings.
End of the line, bud.
Yeah, end of the line.
Oh, shut up.
What seems to be the problem here, Gildy?
Oh, Judge, I want you to tell this young whippersnapper here where he gets off.
Oh, now, Gildy.
He had the nerve to tell me I'm not entitled to a B ration book.
Well, you may be right, Gildy. You're only sharing a ride with one person.
You can't throw those technicalities at me, Hooker. You're the share my rider. You signed this application yourself.
I know that, Gildy. As a share the rider, I'd be delighted to see you get your ration book. But as a ration official, I couldn't possibly pass this application. My conscience wouldn't allow it.
All right, Judge. As a ration official, you needn't bother to come to Thanksgiving dinner. And as a share the rider, from now on, you can walk.
Oh, shut up.
Oh, you can have your old line.
The great Gildersleeve will be with us again in just a few seconds. If you're troubled with a food budget that's hard to keep in line these days, just remember this. There are any number of wholesome, good-tasting, nutritious foods that can help you keep your food budget down. And one such food, surely, is parquet margarine, Kraft's delicious spread for bread that's because it's good-tasting, economical, and nutritious. Parquet margarine's flavor is something pretty special. Thousands know it as the margarine that tastes so deliciously good. And just as important, parquet margarine is an economical source of food elements that your family needs. Yes, wholesome, nourishing parquet margarine is one of the best energy foods you can serve. And year-round, every pound of parquet contains 9,000 units of important vitamin A. Yes, it's wise to economize with parquet margarine. It's delicious, nutritious, and thrifty. So buy parquet margarine tomorrow. Just ask your food dealer for parquet. P-A-R-K-A-Y. Parquet, the margarine that's made by Kraft. Now, back to Summerfield and the great Gildersleeve. Apparently, he'll get no more gas than the rest of us, but what about turkey? It's Tuesday afternoon now, only 2 days before Thanksgiving, and we find our hero checking last-minute details with Marjorie.
What about those 4 soldiers, my dear? You're sure they're coming?
Oh, yes. I had a note this morning from their commanding officer. They'll arrive at 12 o'clock sharp in a jeep.
A jeep?
Uh-huh.
Oh, brother, what an appetite they'll have. I'll have to run around the house a couple of times to get myself up to concert pitch. Can't let the boys show me up at my own table.
I don't think you need to worry about that, Uncle Mort.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're all set. Soldiers accepted. Hooker canceled. Miss Ransom, coming, isn't she?
You invited her, didn't you?
No. I thought you'd take care of that. You're the lady of the house.
Oh, but I thought you wanted to. Oh, dear. And I went over there this morning to borrow a roasting pan for the turkey and never said a word about it.
Oh.
What must she think?
Oh, this is terrible. This is awful. I'll run over there right now. Serves me right if she made other plans. A fine thing. Borrow a woman's roaster and then not invite her to dinner. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Leela, I've come to explain.
Well, I don't know what there is to explain, I'm sure.
May I come in?
Well, I'm rather busy.
Just for a moment.
Well,
Leela, of course you're coming to Thanksgiving dinner Thursday.
Well, I'm hardly in the habit of going to places to which I've not been invited, Mr. Gildersleeve.
But you are invited. You were invited all along. There was a mix-up, that's all. I thought Marjorie had asked you, and Marjorie thought I had.
Well, how do I know? How do I know you're just not inviting me for my roasting pan?
Leela, when I thought of inviting you, nothing was further from my mind than a roasting pan.
Oh, you say those things, but you don't mean them.
It's the truth. You were the first one on my list, Leela.
Was I, Throckmorton? Sure enough?
Yeah, sure enough. Yeah.
Oh, but I'm afraid I couldn't accept at this late date. You see, I've had all these other invitations.
Ew.
And if I turned them down now, I know they'd be heartbroken, much as I'd like to have dinner with you.
We're having a 20-pound turkey.
Oh, I love turkey, but I'm afraid I can't.
I'll save you the white meat.
No, don't tempt me now.
I'll save you the wishbone. We can make a wish on it.
What would you wish, Throckmorton?
I'm not supposed to tell you.
Well, I don't know if I could trust you with the wishbone. And anyway, I promised these other people.
But you've got to come, Leela. Marjorie and Leroy will be terribly disappointed if you don't. And so will I. So will Bertie. And so will the Army.
The Army?
Yes. We're having 4 young lieutenants for dinner, too.
Throckmorton, why in the world didn't you say so?
You mean you'll come?
Will I?
You're too good to me, Leela.
What did she say, Uncle Mort?
She's coming with bells on.
I wouldn't put it past her.
Eh?
Uncle Mort, can I borrow your shotgun?
No, Leroy, certainly not. Why?
I'm supposed to bring a gun to school tomorrow.
What kind of school are they running? For a reform school?
No, Miles Standish has got to have a blunderbuss.
A blunderbuss?
Here's your pilgrim suit, Leroy. I pressed the collar, so don't mess it up.
Oh, put it on, Leroy, and show Uncle Mort how nice it looks now it's finished.
No.
Go ahead. You look real nice in it.
I look like a sissy in it.
You look better than you do in that Mickey Mouse sweatshirt you wear all the time.
Yeah, and cleaner too. Put on the pilgrim suit, Leroy.
Oh, Unc.
Your sister worked hard on it. It won't do you any harm to put it on once. Go ahead.
Okay. I'd like to meet that guy Longfellow.
Yeah. Well, Bertie, you think we're going to have enough turkey for all these people Thursday?
I don't know, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Let's see now. We've got 4 soldiers, and the 4 of us here, and Mrs. Ransom.
What about Judge Hooker?
Judge Hooker is an ungrateful old goat. Never mention his name in this house.
Excuse me. I didn't know it was like that again.
There'll be 8 of us at dinner. You know the way soldiers eat. You think we ought to figure on 2 turkeys?
I don't know, Mr. Gildersleeve. I don't know what we ought to do.
What's the matter, Bertie? You seem to be sort of dragging today.
I don't know. I don't guess I feel so good.
Out a little late last night?
No, sir. No later than usual. I just got a feeling, that's all.
What kind of feeling?
Like things won't work out somehow.
Oh, well, don't let it get you down. Hey, by the way, when are they going to raffle that turkey I bought all those chances on?
Yes, we can't wait much longer to find out about that. Thanksgiving's only 2 days away.
I was thinking, Mr. Gildersleeve, how would it be if we had a nice ham instead of a turkey?
Bertie, are you hiding something from us?
No, sir. I ain't hating nothing. Except they had that raffle last night.
Oh.
You came close, Mr. Gildersleeve. You came mighty close. The winning number was 61, and you had 62.
Eesh. But it still leaves us without a turkey.
Well, sort of.
Well, if you gamble, you have to expect these things.
Better order a turkey right away.
Yes. We can't invite all those soldiers to come 20 miles for Thanksgiving dinner and have no Thanksgiving dinner.
I'll call up the market and reserve one.
Now, that's just the problem.
What do you mean?
I called up the market, and all the turkeys is reserved.
You mean they won't sell us one?
Butcher says there ain't a turkey left in Summerfield. I don't know what's the matter. Last week, no pot roast. This week, no turkey.
We've got to have a turkey. We've invited all these soldiers. We've invited Mrs. Ransom. We've got to find one.
Where?
Don't ask me.
All right, Unc. How do you like it?
Like what?
The pilgrim suit.
Oh, forget the pilgrim suit. We just lost our turkey.
No turkey?
No turkey?
How do you like that? Well, it looks like we'll all wind up eating turkey sandwiches at the drugstore.
Yeah.
Some Thanksgiving.
The drugstore. Maybe Peavy's got a turkey. Hold everything, kids. I'll be right back. I'm going to the drugstore.
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Ah, Peavy. Peavy, you've got to help me out.
Well, I'm always glad to do a customer service.
Good. Have you got a turkey?
What was that again?
Have you got a turkey?
A turkey? Well, no, I've had people come in here and ask for some strange things, but this is the first time everyone has ever asked about a turkey.
Never mind that. Have you got one?
No. Turkey is the one thing I don't carry. I'm sorry. Have you tried the meat market?
Of course I've tried the meat market. Why do you think I came in here?
I wondered.
Now, just a minute, Peavy. You serve turkey sandwiches at your soda fountain, don't you?
Yes, we do serve a turkey sandwich.
You can't make a turkey sandwich without turkey, can you?
Well, now, I wouldn't say that.
In other words, Peavy, your turkey sandwich is not a turkey sandwich.
Well, turkey sandwich has become sort of a trade expression. Although we serve it with genuine cranberry jelly on the side.
But suppose you don't care for cranberry jelly.
Well, then you just asked for the regular chicken sandwich.
Peavy, I'm surprised at you. I don't know how you can sleep nights.
Well, I did have a little trouble, but I just take a cup of hot cocoa before going to bed, and I find it sets me right. So does Mrs. Peavy.
Well, this isn't finding a turkey. I've got to get going. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Mr. Gildersleeve. Have a nice Thanksgiving.
Same to you. Don't drink too much cocoa, and don't let Mrs. Peavy.
Any luck, Uncle Mort?
Not a bit, my dear. I've been everywhere. It's no use. The Army's picked the place clean. There's not a single turkey left.
Well, maybe I should warn those boys at camp. They'll do better if they just stayed there.
Wait. There's just one left.
What's that?
If we can find out who won the turkey in Bertie's raffle, we might be able to buy it from him. Oh, Bertie!
Yes, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Would you mind coming in here?
Yes, sir.
Bertie, do you know who won that turkey in the raffle?
No, sir.
Do you think you could find out?
Well, sir, I might be able to, but then again, I might not.
What do you mean by that?
Well, if I was to have found out who won, you might not like it.
Come clean, Bertie. What bush are you beating about now? You know who won the turkey.
Yes.
Well, why didn't you say so? Who was it?
Well, you said never to mention Judge Hooker's name.
Oh.
I told you you wasn't going to like it.
Well, there goes our only chance.
Uncle Mort, don't you think Judge Hooker would be willing to let you have it?
After what I told him down at the ration board, no, my dear. I really gave him a piece of my mind there.
But if you took it all back and invited him to dinner again...
When he's got the turkey, he'll just laugh at me. Wait a minute. Bertie!
Yes?
Does Judge Hooker know yet that he's won the turkey?
No, sir. I'm supposed to deliver it to him this evening.
Excuse me, folks. I got to see a judge about a bird. Horace, I've come to ask your forgiveness.
Well, you've come to the wrong place, Gildersleeve.
That's a cruel attitude, Judge, but I don't blame you for taking it.
You behave like a bore, Gildersleeve.
You're right. A big bore. In front of a whole lot of people, too.
Yeah.
I could kick myself when I think of it.
Well, we all fly off the handle sometime.
There was no excuse for it. Doing a thing like that to my old friend.
Well, Gildy...
Of course, you may think me a sentimental old fool, but we've been pals for a good many years now, haven't we? Off and on?
Yes, Gildy, we have. Off and on.
And we've always had Thanksgiving dinner together, haven't we?
Yes, I guess that's right.
Well, I want you to have it with us again this year.
You You really mean that?
Horace, I've said it before, and I mean it now more than ever. If you don't come to Thanksgiving dinner, it just won't be Thanksgiving dinner.
Well, then, I'll certainly be delighted to come.
Good. Don't forget now.
I won't.
We'll be counting on you.
I'll be there. What time would you like me to come?
Oh, come early, Judge. Come about 9 o'clock in the morning.
9 o'clock?
Yeah. And when you come, would you mind bringing that turkey you won in the raffle, Judge?
Well, Gilly, I've got to be going, but it's been a mighty pleasant day.
Oh, stick around, Judge. The evening's yet young.
No, I've got to get an early start in the morning, but I don't know when I've had a finer Thanksgiving.
Well, it was your turkey, Judge.
Yeah, I share my turkey, you share your car. That's the spirit today.
And a good spirit, too. It brings people together, Judge.
Yes, it does, Gildy. I'm sorry we had that misunderstanding down at the ration board. As a matter of fact, you're probably entitled to a B ration. You use your car for official business.
Well, I don't want a B book.
What?
No, I've been thinking about it, Horace. It seems to me the spirit of rationing is to get along with as little as you can, instead of grabbing all you can get.
You're absolutely right, Gildy, and I'm glad to hear you say it. You're a credit to the community.
Well, thank you, Horace. And you may rest assured that even though I have only had a humble A ration, my car will be at your service at all times.
You mean that, Gildy?
I do indeed.
That's fine. I've got to meet a train at Moores Junction at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. Good night, Gildy.
Eee! Good night, everybody.
Original music on this program was composed and conducted by Billy Mills. This is Ken Carpenter speaking for the Kraft Cheese Company, inviting you to tune in again next week for the further adventures of the great Gildersleeve. Let me introduce the cast of Gildersleeve Thanksgiving. The leading role of Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve, the man without a turkey, was played by Andre Dixon. The faithful secretary, Fitch, and the seductive Southern Belle neighbor, Leela Ransom, was played by Donna Amesmeyer. Gildersleeve's friend and carpooler, Judge Hooker, the man with a turkey, was played by Dave Sanchi. Birdie, the maid who finagled a whole $1.25 for raffle tickets out of her boss, was played by Ellie Babka. Marjorie, Gildersleeve's nurse, was played by Annelle Brennan. Leroy, the hard-to-handle nephew of Gildersleeve, was played by Jay Summerfield. The man waiting in line for B-ration cards was played by Herb Thompson. The first woman in line who wasn't going to let Gildersleeve cut in was played by Sue Gadzinski. The second woman in line who instructed Gildy to go to the end of the line was played by Sue Kovalek. The special sound effects, the police officer who tried to stop the squabble in the line for B-ration cards, and Mr. Peavy, the drugstore owner, were all played by Marty McNulty. Our great technical crew doing sound and video for our programs are John V. Gelsomino and Lorenzo Cordoba. And I'm your announcer for this show, Walt Kovalek. Now I'd like to introduce December's director, John V. Gelsomino.
Thank you, Walt. Next month, we will celebrate the Christmas season with two fantastic holiday shows. First up, we will have a Jack Benny program from early 1946, December 1946, entitled Jack Buys Don Shoelaces for Christmas. Sounds typical. We will conclude the night with a great story from Suspense entitled Christmas for Carol from 1950. What ties both of these programs together is Dennis Day, who all of you know starred in Jack Benny program, but is also the male lead in this episode of Suspense. For the second year in a row, the Radio Players will present this holiday show on Friday night, this time December 14th. So make sure you take note to be with us 11 days before Christmas, Friday night, December 14th. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and before we go, please join me in welcoming the fantastic director of tonight's shows and a person who is leaving some big shoes for me to fill, Sue Gadzinski.
Thank you. Our next show will be again Friday, December 14th. That's the second Friday of the month, so as not to interfere with any Christmas holiday plans. Please take time this Thanksgiving season to remember all the things you're grateful for. One thing we're grateful for is the Riverside Township and its board under the supervision of Rich Tusher because they support our programs. These shows are televised for local cable network 6, as well as appearing on the internet at www.riversideradio.net for the current year, and go to www.riversideradiold.net for previous years. Thank you for coming. Don't forget to take a look at the prints on the table from our first show, and good night. Thank you. Oh, Ellie wants to say something.
I just wanted to also mention, we just found out today that the Riverside Township Community Band will be playing a half hour before our show in December. So come before 7 o'clock. They will be doing Christmas caroling back there, and we'll have a few goodies for you. And when we also mentioned that the township supports us, that's your tax dollar. So those of you who live in Riverside Township, thank you.